Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Rodney Grimes here again with People to People, the People Podcast. I'm always excited to come on the air and talk to you and share some good positive information. It's always a blessing. I just be giving God glory and praise, man, because that's all I can do is just be thankful that I have another choice and a voice to make a difference in somebody's life. Before I introduce my beautiful guest today, y'all just hanging there with me and let me give you some more information. Remember, if you want to call in, the number is 703-752-6120. 703-752-6120. And don't forget the Cash App. You know, always a blessing when you want to bless somebody. Why not bless people to people? We are in the business of blessing others. That's what it's all about. Us making it so that we can be the people's podcast, the voice and the choice. Okay, the Cash App is the $ RG. That's capital RG 1960. Always remember, we are a nonprofit, and what we do is we just try to keep moving forth, and we're like nobody else in this area because we give, and don't take. And I kind of just said that because I meant to say something else. But let me introduce my beautiful guest, Miss StefMarie Coleman. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
I am first of all, I'm so excited too after hearing that you spoke at another event. Mm-hmm. You were highly recommended to me to invite you to this location. And then after us kind of chatting a little bit, I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. This is a powerful queen right here. So I'm excited that you're here.
Thank you.
What I want you to do is just tell a little bit about yourself, please.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I am 41. I reside in Fairfax, VA. I have 2 children. I have been doing poetry for over 20 years. I have a mental health book called A Sound Mind, which speaks about my mental health journey. I was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia in 2018. And so I have a testimony of how God brought me through that I like to share through poetry and to empower others. I also am big on women empowerment. So I have another book called Not Freely Given, which is a book of poetry to empower women. Ultimately, my goal is to use my pain to help others. And that's what I do. I enjoy hosting my open mic in Virginia. I enjoy helping others to reach their goals. I also have an online podcast called Grown Folk Convos and Poetry. So it's a mixture of conversation and poetry. So I love this. This whole setup is amazing. But yeah, that's my major goal, is just to help others.
Well, I mean, it's an honor to have you here, and just kudos to everything that you're doing. One of the things that I find very, very fascinating is when we, in this day and time, are using our skills that are given to us by God to help other people. And I'm a poet as well. I've been doing poetry for a very, very long time, but I don't do it publicly, like go on the stage. But I'm a romantic dude, so I can throw some poetry at you, and I believe that was one of the things that got my wife. Because I used to, when I first met her, I used to recite poems and stuff to her, and she would just be saying, yo, can you do another one of them poems for me? Because I tell people to give me a word, and I'll just take it, because poetry is just you sharing your emotions.
That's it, yeah.
And people don't realize a lot of rappers, right, call themselves rappers, but really, for real, if you're a rapper that really have skills, all you are is really a poet.
A poet with music behind it.
How about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and where you originally from?
Primarily Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay.
Actually, when I post a flyer, someone told me, "You know who that is?" They said because I went to school with your son, Mike Grimes.
Oh,
Yes, West Potomac.
Oh, okay, cool. That
Yes,
is
so we
cool.
graduated the same year. So he said, "You know who that Kamani?" I don't know if you know Kamani, but yeah, he told me, yeah, that's his father. I said, "Oh, cool. So it's a small world, right?"
That is so cool. Yeah, yeah. I just was with Mike Sunday.
Okay.
And he came by. Actually, he plays a big part in this process that we've been doing here.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so he's doing pretty good. I should say really good, really. That's my chip off the old shoulder right there. So now I'm really excited. But I'll say so. I want to go to a little bit about your books.
Okay.
Okay, so the first book, what is the title?
So I bought a copy. It's called A Sound Mind.
Okay.
And it has mental health. It's a mental health book of poetry, mental health coping skills, affirmations, and my testimony. And it just talks about, sometimes we don't want to get help. We think we can do it ourselves. And so I struggle with that because I do know the power of God. But sometimes you need therapy outside of the spirituality. Sometimes you just need that therapy and medication to get you to where you need to be. And so finally, when I was, really losing it and thought that I was going to die or be in a mental institution for the rest of my life, I finally got help. And that help allowed me to get to a mental place where I could receive from God to get me out of that dark place.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
I mean, one of the things that I like a lot of people to understand is that nothing is permanent if you don't want it to be. When you accept it as it is, then so it is. But when you have some different... I was talking to a very, very, very dear friend of mine, another brother from another mother, who I know is going through a transition from losing his mom. And he's struggling with it. And what I wanted him to know is, it's within you, So we all have these issues. As I was sharing with you prior to coming on the air, I started off doing the podcast just on the whim because I was dealing with my depression. And when you're talking about, I'm sure you can relate. I had moments where, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was in a real dark place, and nobody really knew. I could dress up and look nice, but on the inside, it was rough. So the book of Sound Mind, is that some of the areas that you cover in there?
Yes, what I cover is I really detail my mental health journey because a lot of it was rooted in childhood trauma. I found out that I was mute as a child. I was holding a lot of rejection. And rejection can cause a lot of things to happen emotionally, spiritually, and so that sometimes you have hidden trauma that carries along with you. And so I did struggle with self-esteem. I struggled with depression. I struggled with all those things. Even my identity, I struggled in all those areas. And it took me to a really dark place, when I was in a situation where I lost a lot of friends at once. And so it caused me to go into a really dark place. And I thought the answer was to just keep praying, fast and pray fast. But what I was actually doing was focusing on the problem. And the more you focus, the more you worry, the more you fear, and literally it becomes to consume your mind. So I was really going about it the wrong way. And one of the things God revealed to me is that you focus on the solution. Sometimes when we're praying, we're speaking the lies of the enemy. We're actually verbalizing it.
Right.
So when you pray, you have to speak life.
Yes.
I am a child of God. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you start speaking life, it begins to transform your mind. But I didn't realize I was operating backwards, and it has put me in a really dark place. But then finally, when I got help, I was able to begin to change the environment of my mind through prayer, through worship, through affirmations. And I was able to literally transform my mind with focusing on goals, purpose, my life. And when I was able to change the environment of my mind, I was able to mentally come out of that dark space. And paranoid schizophrenia is a chronic mental illness. So it's a process. Some of it was me receiving the healing power of God. Some of it was, being intentional about my thinking. You have to intentionally think positively, because if you just let your mind, wander, who knows what will go in. We have to be careful what we allow in our eye gates and our ear gates, because we're taking so much in all day.
Yes.
So it's very important that you guard your heart, you guard your mind, and you are very intentional on what you meditate on, because one thought can send you down a path that you can't get back from. So I learned a lot, and I wanted to share that with people, because if God can bring me from paranoid schizophrenia, then nothing is impossible if you believe.
That, man, I love it, and I can tell. I just feel your passion, and I can tell that you have had a journey that really, really was not an easy one. No. But then I feel your passion that you are able to share this and help so many other people. And I applaud you for not giving up.
Thank you.
And and that's very, very powerful. So I say kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
And so what about the second book?
My second book is a book of, I like to call it a women empowerment book, but anyone can read the book. But it's a book of rediscovering myself, because even when you're like in a relationship, you can lose yourself sometimes. And what came to in my spirit is that the right person won't take you further from yourself, but they'll bring out the best in you, right?
Yeah.
And so we all have gifts, like you said, whether you're a musician, poet, whatever you do. You can't be so consumed into another person that you lose yourself. So the book is really about my journey of finding myself again through poetry, loving myself. And it's very empowering. I have a lot of empowering poems I like to do. Some of the poems are accountability poems. If you don't take accountability, especially we as women, sometimes we don't like to take accountability. If you don't take accountability, you'll continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. So that's what the book is about. It's a poetry book, but you can see my transition within my poems, where I was mentally, where I started actually recognizing my self-worth, and then where I come to a place where I'm loving myself again.
Man, that is amazing.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you to do a poem for me.
Oh, absolutely.
So are you able to just recite it?
I do know one. One of the ones that people love for me to do is called Grown Woman Panties. I can do that one for you.
Would you?
Okay. Ladies, have you ever had to put your grown woman panties on? Say some real things to yourself so you can move on. Well, I had to face my demons to finally get free and take accountability. So these are lessons to myself. Lesson number 1, don't ever play victim. You know what you did when you picked him, gave him chance after chance when he told you he wasn't about you. And boo, that's on you. Time to grow. Placing blame without looking in the mirror is pride and ego. See, we're not doing that no more. Pick up your feelings because he's at peace. Girl, you knew he was for the streets. Let's focus on me so I can increase instead of going in cycles that never cease. New face, same issue. No, you don't get a tissue. Time to woman up. And I don't normally talk to you like this, but some love gotta be tough, because I'm never going back to being that female doing too much. Words alone won't earn my body attention and touch. Not this time. Benefits decline to letting anyone finesse my mind. Lesson number 2. Never compromise your convictions or standards for a connection. Wait on God's selection. And I won't say God will find me someone better. See, I don't have to diminish anyone to make me feel better. It's about me, making better choices and compatibility. Timing is key, because I'm deserving of more than flattering words with an erection. Rejection is God's protection. It don't lessen my value. I'm still a jewel, blinging, shining, not for everyone to fit. I'm a treasure like a diamond with flaws. I'm still legit. Rare cut prices on upgrade to compliment. Remember, a man could be everything, still not enough. The difference is prioritizing needs versus wants. So don't ever alter me to fit in a man's life. I'm a wife. And wives get chosen, like how poets are selected with words that are spoken, intentional, deliberate, without confusion, ensuring, affirming, and here's the conclusion. I'll never have to chase what's organically embrace. Lesson number 3. Never sell yourself short and pursue a man. I'm a prize, not a fan. Understand my value before getting locked into a soul tie. Or you'll find yourself giving more than you're receiving. See, this ain't up for debating because I'm for some bonds and blaming him for not reciprocating. And see, that's crazy. Emotional instability, now a liability, over-invested, feeling silly. When really, it was the need for attachment, deeply empty. So was it really love? Because one-sided affection had me looking desperate. And I got to be honest with me so I can level up. My energy isn't freely given, not anymore. No time, no reply by, there's the door. Someone deserving would gladly do more. Last and most importantly, lesson number 4. Learn to be okay alone and love yourself. Hence me. Shoot, I need some consistency. Fly me out for some fine dining, get on the reggae dance floor and do some whining. Fly me out for that trip, some wine to sip, a pool to skinny dip, 'cause I'm gonna love all of it. Start that book, look in the mirror. Ain't I fine? You better treat me like I'm one of a kind, 'cause I'm the one you'll forever sleep with at night. So treat me right. I'm worth it. See, there's always power in owning your stuff and taking accountability. No one can hold over your head what you admit freely. I had to tell that old Steph, farewell, so long, 'cause finally I got my grown woman panties on. Poem. Thank you. So that poem was about me taking accountability so I didn't continue to go in cycles. But at the same time, I was still loving on myself.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's very important. Even when you take accountability, you can still speak life and uplift yourself at the same time. So that's what that poem was for.
I loved it.
Thank you.
What I find so amazing, I have had several female poets on the program.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have really showed me that I'm a rookie at this game. But I mean, I'm just really that was very powerful.
Thank you.
What I love to see, and this is something where we are today, we can talk about things and be open. You know, for a black woman to be able to, to sit with that grace and power and talk with that I'm okay. I'm beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
When we went through the history of making people making us seem like we were ugly and we had to be a certain way to be accepted. Mm-hmm. But within ourselves, we started to become our biggest enemies. Mm-hmm. So I say to y'all, especially the black women, I thank you for being so strong and coming out and standing, not falling for anything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And standing for something. And I don't say this because no other women are like that in this world. Women in general, y'all have a different perspective on life, whether you're black, white, it doesn't matter, Asian, Hispanic. Women, God has put y'all in a position that, as I heard someone say, and I believe this as well, I think the closest thing to God is a woman, because a woman can give life and feed the baby from her body.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Come on now. You know, I remember watching. I actually had the opportunity to tour my kids. To watch them develop in the stomach, and I remember watching them kick, and I used to get scared. I was like, that don't bother you? But for the woman, y'all embrace it, as y'all do many things. So kudos to all the women who have, taken the positions to really put us in a position to start loving ourselves better, hang on to the truth. Many men out there, y'all got to remember, we got to catch up with them. We got some work to put in, because we got to let them know. I'm going to be working on some of my poetry so I can show these ladies, I can run with some of them. Not at the level where they going, but I can come with them. But again, so you've written 2 books. Mm-hmm. You're a poet.
Yes.
And also you host.
Yes, I host an open mic in Springfield, Virginia at the Hideout.
Okay.
And so what I do is I create an atmosphere for artists to express themselves in a fun environment. I usually mix karaoke with poetry to make it fun, but it's free. So anyone can come, and it's good to have free things out there because, especially as an artist, we're struggling, we're trying to be successful out here. So it's really good to have spaces where you can perform your art and not have to worry about the cost of
Right.
of coming. So yeah, so I do that. I also do host rooms online that helps poets to be successful. So I have courses like how to consistently get booked as a poet. I do mental health rooms, and I'm trying to collaborate with some other people on with mental health. I do all types of podcasts online, and I'm looking into doing like online courses. But primarily, I do women empowerment rooms, mental health, and the different poetry and conversations. So, but primarily, my goal is also to help other poets so that they can do this full time.
I love it. Well, I don't know what it is, but I believe that right now, that in this day and time, we are moving into an era where poetry is getting ready to really, really
Yes.
take off.
Yes.
And so many individuals whom I've seen start to share their poetry. I have a niece that I've been constantly trying to get her to share her poetry. Several times I've had her read some stuff to me that was it just pierced me all in my soul. How, and you able to release those emotions through words.
Yes.
And yet when you do it, people look at it like it's just you, but really you are the voice for many.
That's it.
That's
That's
powerful.
It's very powerful, and what people have to understand about poetry is that you're pretty much burying yourself naked on paper and in front of people.
Yes.
You're sharing those vulnerable pieces, but I like to say that I'm willing to bleed that someone else can live.
Yeah.
Especially in my mental health pieces, I'm willing to share those things that people typically keep to themselves, so that someone else can say, if she can do it, I can too.
Many times I tell individuals, let me tell y'all something. Sometimes people say something and I hold on to it. Now I'm gonna let y'all know that StefMarie Coleman said this on the People podcast, that she's willing to bleed to let somebody else live, right?
Yes.
So is People to People with Rodney Grimes. Now when you hear me say that again, you're gonna know where I got it from, because I'm willing to bleed to help other people live. And that is so powerful. So I love you for that.
Thank you.
I'm just so proud of you. I'm
Thank you.
sitting here like really feeling like, okay, yo, you just brought something else new to my table. You just brought something new for my thinking.
Okay.
And the way God works, sometimes, we was talking about this. I was talking about on Monday, to be obedient to your calling and your purpose. Okay, we have to do that.
Yes.
And see, a lot of times you getting up in the morning and you going working in McDonald's, you going working at Dunkin' Donuts, you going working in different government offices, you going working in private offices and things of that nature. And when you get up in the morning, you slugging and you frowning and you doing all these things and you walking around and you be like, man, I got to go and do this. That's not the way to live.
It's not the way to live. And one of the things that I learned is, like, when you are walking in your purpose, you'll be surprised at the doors that are open because you're on the right path.
Yeah.
When you take the time to invest in yourself, you'll be surprised at the opportunities that come. And a lot of times we have to put our egos down and be willing to do things for free.
Yeah.
Because free things lead to paid opportunities.
Come on,
I
girl.
always tell people that. Just like with the community service, allow me to be here with you today.
Yeah.
So people really need to realize that what you're willing to give freely opens up the opportunity for blessings to come your way.
I'm telling you publicly that you are now again part of the People to People family. Many people I've given that opportunity. You use it or abuse it. It's up to you. You can come and I tell you that because when I see an individual moving forth trying to do something positive, I feel like we're on the same journey. We may not be in the same vehicle traveling,
Right.
but we're going the same direction.
Right.
And when we go there, sometimes I might have some water and you may have some bread. And the next person may have the peanut butter.
Right.
And and so on and so on. And when we stop at the rest area, everybody come and say, yo, which way you going? And say, we going over there. And then we realize we are going the same direction. And we say, well, why don't we fellowship right here for free, right? And we all eat at the same time and move forth. And then when we support one another, guess what? When we reach the location where we're going, the pot of gold is for all of us.
It's for all of us.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. And I love people who like to give because I'm a giver,
Yeah.
right? And so some things are just natural. Some people just naturally love to help others. That's me. I have a passion for helping people, whether it be with their goals, whether it be with their dreams, whether it be just me sharing my testimonies of the things I've been through. But I naturally have the spirit to give. And so I even build a community where I speak to poets consistently. I do mental health check-ins. I offer opportunities to be featured at my open mic so I can put money in their pockets. And I'm working hard to really grow and build the community. You do have some people who don't want to share, who don't want to help. And it's kind of sad because I think they have the mentality, well, if I help her, I may not get the opportunity. But there's enough for all of us to win. It really is. And just be willing to think outside the box. Sometimes you have to insert yourself into opportunities. If you're an artist and your community, let's say your community where you live is having an event, see if they need a poet or artist. You know, your job may do a conference or something. That's a place that you can perform, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there.
Yes.
You know, there's Eventbrite. You can search the events that are happening and contact the organizer and see if they need, you know, some sort of artistry there. But if you're not putting yourself out there and letting people know who you are, then you're going to lose those opportunities. But there's so many opportunities, and we have to stop having that crab in the bucket mentality where if I help you, that's going to stop me. When I see people win, I'm happy. It actually inspires me because I'm saying, wow, let me find out what they're doing. Let me tap in. You know, I'm not too proud to not get a mentor. I have a mentor. I speak to people who have been in the industry for a long time, and I get help, and that's what's helping me to excel. And they'll say, well, what are you doing? I'm getting help. I have a mentor. I'm making connections. I'm networking. I'm doing the things that you're not willing to do.
I love it. You're a confirmation to so many things that's running through my mind in this business. I mean, again, I do believe that nothing happened by accident. I received a phone call about you, and the individual told me that they support what I do here, and they said you need to have this young lady on the program. And I'm not even going to try not to hold back Dr. Angela Conti. Yeah, she was the one who called me and told me, and I want to say I'm really now excited. See, I was feeling your vibe. I don't know what it was about, but I was feeling your vibe while we was communicating. I was like, you know what? It's something about this woman. It's something about her. And then so last night as I was working on that other flyer, right? So my wife was like, she always get on me. She said, why you do more than one flyer? Don't do that. She kind of coached me on how to do things. But sometimes I do things just to express myself. But let me tell you why I did that. You see that, what I did with that?
Yes.
You know, because I was feeling you that you was like this. You was rooted, but you was giving something off more than just you.
I like that.
You see, so that's why I chose that. When I saw that picture, I emerged you into the tree.
Yeah, I saw that.
You
Yeah.
see? So now I want you to understand that what you were doing is what trees do. Do you know that a lot of people don't realize that we cannot survive on this earth without trees? Because trees give us oxygen, and without oxygen, we will not survive.
My God.
Come on now, right?
So I'm following you.
So while I was thinking about all the things that you was doing, that came to my mind. And I was like, and she was like, what you doing? And then so she, after a while, she started looking at it, and then she was like, move it a little bit to the left, fix it and put it right there, you know. And then I explained to her why, and she gave me the thumbs up. And that's why I sent, you know, for approval to you. But I just wanted you to know, now I'm glad that I did that, because now I see what God was trying to show me and what he was telling me about you as an individual. You are rooted, but you got so much to give. All those different limbs, all those different levels that you got to give to the world. And that's what trees do. See, a lot of people think a tree just stuck in one location, that is only just stuck there. But I believe all trees communicate. When, you know, when the wind blows and the leaves go to different locations, so forth and so on. But anyway, I'm here. You got my mind in that poetry shape, right? Yeah.
No, I mean, it's true. I mean, when, you know, poets, that's, you know, it takes a lot. It's like almost like preaching in a way. because it can take a lot out of you. But at the same time, the reward is when someone comes up to you and say, this poem saved my life.
Yeah.
I was thinking about committing suicide, but I'm going to get help now.
Yeah.
It's those moments that you remember that makes you realize I'm doing this. I'm doing this for others. That's going to help them and heal them. We're healers.
Yeah.
We speak through our pain so that others may gain life and healing. And so I always say, if you're going to poet for a purpose.
Yes.
And make sure. I was speaking to someone today about, she has a story about domestic violence and she has poetry. And I was like, someone has to hear it. Someone has to hear it, because that's what we're here for. We don't have this gift just to sound cute.
Right. Right.
We're here to help others. So you have to be willing to, and it's a journey. It takes time to get to that place to share those deep things, but we have the gift for a reason, and that gift is to help others get through. And I'm so thankful and honored to be able to be in a position to help others.
You are a gift to this earth, with all the things that you have experienced and being able to share it and to help people. That says a lot about you, that you're a giver. A lot of people look at us who, when we acknowledge that we have problems, people looking at something wrong with them. No, it's not. See, we are able to come forth and be honest with who we are.
That's it.
A lot of people are in denial. I told one of my friends the other day, I said, bro, don't feel bad when you're struggling, because do you know how many people is dressed up? I got this from another person. I always pay attention. A brother named Harold Harris. He said, we have a lot of dressed up trash cans. He said that. He said, we got a lot of people that are dressed up trash cans. They just look good, but got a lot of garbage on the inside.
That's true.
And so many people, when I hear and I look at them and I just think, and we, our hands are made for several things. But had you ever really noticed that when you hold somebody else's hand that it fits? It don't just fit with yours. But if you shake a person's hand, it fits. That's also when you're pulling them up. It's designed to do that. And see, we got to start being realistic with life itself, and don't make it all about us. And that's what a lot of poets do. They share and they're able to, put that information out. So again, come on, we ain't gonna make this about me, because you got me excited. I get over here, get to talking and running my mouth. I really want to know some more about StefMarie. So, do you have any big plans or any big events coming up?
Let's see. I have, I know I have some features coming up. I have, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm a little, I have Green Cup combos and poetry that I do on IG, which is, it's a fun, it's like the grown folk combos and poetry, except it's for IG Live. And I call it Green Cup because I always have my green cup, and then when someone says something funny, I just sip kind of like sipping tea.
Yeah.
But it's this fun conversation. It's a place to vent and just to have, we talk about everything from politics, relationships, personal things, but it's just a place to just let the conversation flow. And then I have an exciting interview coming up because I want to help poets learn the business side of artistry and poetry, so they can actually learn how to secure the bag. So grant writing for poets, and how to create your own LLC, and pretty much how to be an actual entity. So I'm working on that. I'm working on a lot, to be honest. I have so much going on, but for right now, primarily I'm doing the open mic and online courses in grown folk combos and poetry is the main thing I'm doing. And my books, I forgot to say this, my books can be found on Amazon, Not Freely Given in A Sound Mind.
Okay. And so again, we have the amazing author, poet, host, queen, Miss StefMarie Coleman in here with us today, and it is an honor to be sitting here with her. And she has really, really been another one of the individuals who's crossed my path that has really given me the courage to move forth. you don't know that God just put another seal on something. I'm trying to tell
good.
you. Yes, he did.
I would love to share another poem too, if you want
Oh,
me
yeah,
to.
yeah. Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Come on. Go ahead.
This poem is a little bit more of my vulnerable poems. I'm going to read from my phone because it's easier for me to do it that way.
Not a problem.
Okay. So the poem I'm going to do is a mental health poem. And it's one of the hardest poems for me to do. But it's hard because it really pulls those emotions out of me. But at the same time, I know that it's going to help someone. Okay. It's called Sir, You Gotta Go. I refuse to let lies keep me in a bind where faith cries, and shadows that are echoes of how I identify, attached to the very imposter that eats away at my soul, where evil is free to roam like a city overtaken. My body's no longer my own. No, sir, you gotta go. I don't recognize you no more. You don't have permission to take control, putting my emotions in a stronghold where your thoughts become mine to assume my role. Announcing my crown, a spoil from the mental war in which you stole, flaunting yourself proudly as the winner and in the enemy where eyes can no longer see. And I'm no longer me. Walking, drifting, hoping, barely existing, wondering if anyone can see that I ain't really me. I ain't really here. My reality is the nightmare. I don't recognize this reflection in the mirror. These eyes ain't mine. My countenance no longer shine. This mind don't match my heart. My voice belongs to a stranger who has taken over parts where I lay slain, spiritually chained, soul tied to lies from the disdain of inward shame. From thoughts I no longer have the power to dispute. I just sit here like Celie in the color purple while this evil is on my name. From thoughts I should have never entertained, and now I don't quite sound the same. What is my name? Empty, void and darkness. This body ain't mine alone. Some other took the throne, like watching a horror show starring me. Yet I don't have the remote to change the scene. These thoughts be doing their own thing, and I'm just here wishing they would go away. What is this place? Whose mind is this? How do you escape voices that ain't supposed to exist? Wicked thoughts punch me down like a fist. Anxiety and fear jump me like spiritual bullies. Do you hear what they saying? I can't seem to do enough praying. I can't fast enough for thoughts to succumb. So shots from a gun is all I can imagine to make them run. See, I don't know what I've become. What have I become? And I can't stop this feeling. This monster's still breathing because somewhere the monster knows it's me that got the hold. Holding on to fear. Holding on to lies. Holding on to the trauma that shakes my mind. And I can't seem to get out of this sunken place to save my life. I can't stop the thoughts of ending it all with my body as a sacrifice. If this is my only escape from hell, then maybe it'll be worth the price. Because when you don't have control over your own mind, that's the prison of a different kind. With no foresight or parole. And who will pardon my soul? Who forgives evil that has taken control? As God is my witness, He delivered me from this. Save me from a life of mental illness and medication. The Lord is my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Sir, get out of here. And I knew this test would come. I knew this devil would come knocking, but I answered with faith because I refuse to live a life of disgrace. And my body won't be your resting place and torment for me eternally. This is my testimony. And trauma takes time to heal. And therapy is needed still. But I move forward because every day I get better and I am winning. See, it's a process. So I press through the fire because fear, you are a liar. I come out of the furnace refined, renewed in my mind, relief redefined, self-worth reestablished by the divine, forgiven, healed, and set free. And although you attempt to screw with me, my mind is no longer for the streets. See, I choose peace. And although you knock for entry, my answer is no. Sir, you gotta go.
Oh my goodness. Powerful, powerful.
Thank you.
Powerful. Oh my goodness, man. You are something else. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. It takes a lot out of me, but but I do that poem, and I hear a lot of people say that really helped them, because when you're in a dark space like that and you're suicidal and you feel like there's no way out of this place, it's to feel like you're in a car and other people have the wheel and you can't control your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings. That's a place I wouldn't wish on anyone. But God.
I'm telling you, I did you're sitting here talking, everything that you're saying, I've done some program on it. I was talking about, it was about driving your car, who's in the car with you driving, trying to drive your car mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, driving, you know, I'm just sitting here and I'm just overwhelmed because we got work to do.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
We got work to do. But you're a powerful, powerful queen. You have daughters or son and daughter? What?
I have a daughter who's 20 and a son who's 16.
Okay. And do they really know how powerful their mom is?
Well, they're my biggest supporters. You know, they're always, you know, my son bought my first book. He surprised me with buying my book, and they're really proud of me because they know my journey. They know what I've been through. And then just to have, you know, your kids still love you through it is amazing. You know, kids just have a heart of love. You know what I mean? Where they're just willing to be there for you no matter how low you get. So they're my blessings. They're my angels, and I'm just overwhelmed with love that they. But yeah, they always say, "I'm proud of you, Mom." Wow, when they hear like the types of interviews I'm getting, the performances that I do, and all the progress, and they're just amazed at the progress that I've made. So yes.
Well, I'm hoping that you'll sit down and watch this program with them. And what's your daughter's name?
Shanae Coleman.
Shanae Coleman, and your son?
Isaac Thompson.
Isaac Thompson. I want to tell you, you should be very, very proud of this woman. The energy, the passion that she is sharing is something you should really, really take and look into your life to really prosper from what she's doing for many, many people. So I'm taking this opportunity to tell you that StefMarie Coleman is definitely a queen, and y'all are blessed. Y'all are blessed to have this as your mom. And can we give her another round of applause, please?
Thank you so much.
I'm loving you, babe. I'm loving you. My head is over here. I got a lot going on. You said several things that meant so much to me. I've been struggling with depression for many, many years. I know what it's like to wake up and want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to feel like you're a dressed up trash can. I know what it's like to want people to say you're worthy, you know, and to look in the mirror and don't see that real you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see this ghost or something, you know, and you sometimes just want it to go away.
Yeah.
I told many people who I talked to who was talking about suicide, I said, did you know that really you do not want to die? Mm-hmm. You just want the pain to go away.
That's it.
See, you don't really want to die. Mm-hmm. Because if you really want to die, you wouldn't even talk to anybody.
That's true.
You wouldn't tell nobody. You wouldn't go hurt nobody. What you would do is you just go somewhere off on yourself and you would dump in the river or off the mountain or in front, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I don't highly recommend anybody do that. I want to say to anybody out there who's thinking about suicide, listen, there is hope. Remember, call 911. But first of all, call on God. Call on God, and I'm telling you, He will be there to help you. But if it's anybody out there, and I'm saying this because for some reason in my spirit, it's somebody out there that need to know that there's a bright side to all your troubles. You know why I know that? Because Miss Stephanie's sitting right here. Mm-hmm. She's a true witness.
And I'm a living testimony.
I
that
love
miracles
you.
do
I
happen.
love you. I love you. You a doll baby.
Thank you.
Man, this has been an honor for me to sit down and talk with you. You know we got to do a part 2. You already know that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because I can't wait to share some of the affirmations, really break down my testimony, and the different things in this book. So yeah, absolutely.
So any particular thing you want to read out the book? We still got some time. So
sure. This is my book, A Sound Mind, available on Amazon. And I can share a couple of things. I can share my poem, My Diagnosis Was.
Okay.
So this poem kind of breaks down how I was feeling. My diagnosis was paranoid schizophrenia. And I'm not sure if I was paranoid but void, trying to find the words to explain how did I get here. Was it rejection? Childhood traumas, life complexities, suppressed emotions forming false identities, labels by outside entities, self-perception of poor imagery, iniquities opening the door to demonic activities, insanities, dualities, conflicted self-ideologies, couldn't stand for my truth, so I fell to multiple personalities. And when I was young, I would see this lady talking to herself. And I feared someday I would become like her. Trapped inside herself, we failed her. No one prevented the spiritual cancer that killed her inner peace. Alive as a shell, but spiritually deceased. And instead of having compassion, everyone was laughing. Stop laughing, everyone's laughing at me. Is this my new reality? Like cranes in the sky, escapism was my new high. I tried to sex it away, pray it away, fast it away, hoping all the inner conflicts would just go away. But instead of deliverance, I just fed the fears of ignorance from the seeds of a negative self-image. Every prayer was spoken like a witch's spell, as if my tongue was regurgitating the vomit of lies from hell, asking God to change and rearrange the confusion that bombarded me, doubting how God creates is a trick of the enemy, because as a man thinketh, so is he. And I thought evil continuously, praying religiously, unknowingly, manifesting the mirror of my sick mind to reality. Darkness consumed me, afraid to even look at people because of the thoughts that would follow. Hollow, whose mind is this? Wicked anticipation, mental degradation, birthing ungodly imaginations, internal segregation, afflictions, voices with their own opinions, conflictions, fantasy-like addictions. Imagine being in a car, but other people have the wheel. Your mind is like a prison full of strangers who can't sit still. You see people, but not with your own eyes. You're a fragment of who you used to be. Your face is but a disguise, hiding your spiritual state of demise. And I became every evil thing internally. At least that's how I felt. Like I was under mind control and no one could help. Finally, I got help. See, I was stubborn. I thought, why take a pill or seek therapy when I know God is a healer? My condition is spiritual. Drugs are just concealers, not realizing there's a spiritual PTSD that affects your psyche. And if you don't get to the root of your pain, you'll repeat the trauma that'll drive you insane. I took the pill. I felt the chemicals in my brain changing. It was quite amazing. Anxiety fading, a glimpse of light in a sunken place. The pills helped me, thankful for His grace. By the mercy of God, I made it out another day, but the emotional trauma refused to go away. So I went to church. A lady preached and rebuked the spirit of suicide off of me. I cried as energies left my body. See, I could really see. It's like being locked in a dark room and finally was free. I felt the hand of God turning my brain back around to its original state. See, I told you, I thought evil continuously, so my mind was reprobate. I felt myself spiritually crawling out what felt like dungeons with chains. There's something like puppet cords being snapped off from my brain. My mind was completely changed. The tormenting thoughts left. The Lord descended like a dove and reminded me I'm blessed. I'm a walking miracle, a survivor. I shouldn't be here. Now I cry happy tears. See, he's glorious. He's a waymaker, my rock, my Lord, my Savior, and I am not ashamed. See, fear, anxiety, and depression are bullies who love playing mental games. It's not you. There is a way out of emotional hysteria. See, I told you my diagnosis was paranoid schizophrenia. And I want someone to know you do not need to feel ashamed. Get help, seek therapy, and call on his name.
Oh my goodness. That's it. Man, here we go. You are just something. You're amazing. I see we have a caller. Hello, caller. Can you state your name and where you're calling from?
Hello. Hi, this is Tawana. I'm calling from Mitchellville, Maryland.
Okay, how you doing, Tawana?
I'm doing fine. Hello, Miss Coleman.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Yes, I came in, I think, maybe like 20 minutes into the broadcast. I just want to let you know you are truly a blessing. And when I tuned in and I was hearing what you were saying about the relationship, I was just having this conversation with someone earlier. And I was like, oh, my God, she is saying the same thing. And so it's just confirmation for this person. I'm going to make sure that they listen to the, to the podcast. But I just wanted to just call and say you are truly a blessing. I most definitely will come up to visit the poetry because I have a lot to say. I write. I have a lot of stuff in my head. I said I was going to start back writing because I had stopped. And it's just so amazing. And it does free you when you pen down, just some of your thoughts, your experiences, things of that nature. And mental health is real. It's real in my family. My dad has suffered that. It's just I have a whole lot to talk about, and it is so real. So real. But I just want to say you're such a blessing. Beautiful, beautiful young ladies, and your children are blessed to have you. And so is Rodney is in it for people to people to broadcast. And I'm glad that you're free to speak your truth, your past, just testifying of all that God has done and brought you through.
Thank you so much. I would love to see you at the open mic. It's on Monday nights at 8 p.m. at the Hideout in Springfield, VA, every Monday night. So I would love to see you. But thank you so much. That means a lot to me because you're right. I'm healed, so I'm able to talk about it. A lot of people aren't. So that's my prayers that my testimony can help others get to that place. So I appreciate you.
Yes, and it will, because, God says, you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Yeah. And I'm just going to say this. Years ago when I had lost my job, and it's something I never lost. I lost the house before, but it was something about that job, and it shook me to my core. And I remember going to this interview, well, it was some type of job fair. And I didn't really want to go because I was just really depressed about losing my home. And so when I got there, the instructor, she was late or he was late. So we were just sitting around, and this lady was talking about losing her home. And boy, was I sitting there, I was just really upset because my house was going to auction or something like that within the next week or so. And I heard the Holy Spirit said, share your, talk to her. And I was like, I don't want to talk to her in my mind, I'm just going back, trying to reason why not, But once I did, it freed the lady. It gave her hope, even though I was losing mine. She, it was just giving her hope because I don't know where she was mentally. And so many people don't understand, like you can have it today and it can be gone tomorrow. And it was just, just a blessing, just being obedient. You know what I'm saying? And to just speak up, because we all have a voice, and it can help someone else. And I heard you say, Rodney, about suicide. I used to say to people when I was in church, I said, do you see your neighbor? Do you see your loved ones? So many times we're so quick to say, oh, they got this problem, they have that. But do you see them? Do you really pray for them? Will you be willing to go up and say something to them? And a lot of people, we'll talk about folks, but we won't just go give them a hug or just, see what you can do. And sometimes it might just be a hello. It might be a hug. It might be you just buying them a piece of cake. You just don't know. They want to be seen, and they want to be heard. Even though you may have heard them so many times, but this time may make a difference. But, we just have to be sensitive to others and get out of our own stuff, because God will let you know what you're going through ain't nothing compared to someone else, and he will bring them to your presence.
That's right. And I'm glad that you called in. Thank you so much, Tawana. We love you, sweetheart. And as you know, on People to People, it's not about me, it's not about you, but it's all about us. So we love you, sweetheart.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
So,
Have a good one. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
bye-bye. It's just amazing. Again, one person told me one time, he said, if it was a pile and everybody threw their troubles in there, and you up here sitting over there moping over yours, when you throw yours in the pile, you won't even see them compared to other people's. So a lot of people are struggling in different areas. I just want you again to know that you're an amazing woman.
Thank you.
I've met many females like yourself who have inspired me to do what I do. It's not easy to sit here and do this. It requires a lot. But I'm willing to bleed so that somebody else can live.
Yes.
And I just want you to know that when you watch the podcast on several other times, you hear that, you're gonna say, you know what, Rodney got that from me. So I'm going to keep that as another thing. I really appreciate you sharing your poetry through your work, writing books so that you can help other people.
Thank you.
That's being selfless.
I mean, after all that God has done for me, it wouldn't even be right for me not to. I could have been in a mental institution for the rest of my life, but God saved me, and so I am a walking miracle, and now my job is to help others. That's the least I can do.
So much. We got a couple more minutes, but before we go, I got to do this because I normally have to do my commercial. Remember, everybody out there, don't forget about the Life Wave, the patch X39. I'm trying to tell you, we got something coming up on July 6th. I have one of the individuals going to come in, and we're going to be talking about this amazing patch that's a sponsor to the program. So remember, go to lifewave.com, people to people, and get some information and get in touch with us if you're interested in learning more about that patch. So, again, for everybody to just tune in, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. I had the amazing StefMarie Coleman on this program with me, who is a blessing. Her and I don't know what train she on, but I'm telling you, I just put the caboose on the back of it. So wherever she going, I'm going to be going too, and being a part of that track that she's on. I'm excited about where you're going. You got the last words. You got 3 minutes. You can have them.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I just want to say I definitely appreciate this opportunity. And if anyone is suffering or going through, don't be afraid to get help, because help doesn't make you weak. Your power is in the help that you seek. And so I just pray that you understand that no matter what you're going through, there is a way out. So if you are in need of upliftment, you can tap in with me. My stage name is StefMarie Cole. A lot of people know me as StefMarie Cole online and IG. So you can follow me at StefMarie Cole. That's StefMarie Cole, StefMarie Cole on IG. And you will see everything that I have going on. You will see the people I'm featuring, the events, and whether it's a poetry plays, I do that, participate in poetry plays. So there's all types of things that I do. So definitely tap in with me, and I'm very willing to help anyone. And I actually have this book for you. I want to sign it and give it to you.
Oh, I'm loving that.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, so definitely tap in with me. I am here, and I can't wait to continue my journey. And thank you so much for welcoming me to your family.
Right. Hey, it's our pleasure. God bless you, and we guys and everybody. Just make sure that y'all follow Miss Stephanie. She says StefMarie. Make sure we support her. I promise you, this is not her last time being here. And I told you we got some work to do. I got some things we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
So we got some things you're gonna be excited about.
Okay, great.
Okay. So again, hey, remember it's People to People with Rodney Grimes. Hey, Monday is Motivation Monday. Let's talk about it Wednesday, and Date Night Friday. Also, next week we got a special on Tuesday coming up. I can't tell you, but you're gonna want to tune in. I'm gonna be posting information real soon, letting you know we got a special coming up next Tuesday. We got a real special guest coming in that'll be flying in from a location, and we're gonna have an opportunity to do an interview, and it's gonna be something real special. So y'all tune in and just keep us in prayer. Remember the Cash App, the $ capital R-O, the capital G, 1960. So that's the $ RG 1960. Remember also to go to the lifewave.com, people to people, to find out about the X39 patch. Will be a blessing for you. God bless. Y'all have a nice evening. Amazing. So
Thank you. That was great.
Yeah, this is real powerful. You are an amazing young lady.
Thank you.
We got a lot of work to do.
I love to work.
Yeah.